Right, so I wanted to do a video on this book, Ryo Tatsuki, which is a manga um, that people have been talking about. There's been a few stories about it past couple of months. Um, I just arrived in Japan, Okinawa, last week, and I managed to pick up a copy yesterday, bookshop down the road, and so well, from the latest edition of Nexus magazine, there's an article about it, and it's talking about how she's a manga artist, but she made various predictions. I think she made a prediction about Princess Diana and Freddie Mercury dying, and the 2011 earthquake that hit Sendai province, and Fukushima, and various other things. Of course, the book's in Japanese. I can't read it, the manga. But she was a manga artist who wrote prophecies. So now, this is what I found the interesting bit, which I discovered yesterday. So supposedly, and this is what they've been saying in the Daily Mail for a couple of months, and they make the story really confusing in the Daily Mail. They keep showing, they're calling this Ryo Tatsuki, they're calling her Japan's Baba Vanga, who was, I think, a Bulgarian seer or somebody who predicted the future. And they keep showing this picture of Baba Vanga as if it's the Japanese person, really, like it's a completely different person. You read the story, it's all totally confusing, like they've done several times in the Daily Mail. Well, they do it all the time, actually. Anyway, so the most terrifying part is the final dream has not yet happened. According to the comic book, it's foretold to take place at exactly 5 a.m. on July the 25th, 2025. The final prediction, a mega earthquake tsunami in July 2025. Tatsuki's most alarming prediction, detailed in the 2021 reissue of The Future I Saw, warns of a catastrophic tsunami on July the 5th, 2025, triggered by an underwater volcanic eruption south of Japan, right where I am now. Oh dear. She describes the Pacific Ocean boiling with giant bubbles, suggesting seismic activity in a diamond-shaped region encompassing Japan, Taiwan, Indonesia, Philippines, and northern Mariana Islands. She claims it will be 3 times larger than the Tohoku disaster, that's 2011 one, potentially inundating up to a quarter of Japan's Pacific coastline and causing widespread devastation across Asia. It's ignited global concern, amplified by her past accuracies and Japan's location on the Ring of Fire. The Nakai Trough, a fault zone off Japan's southern coast, is a known risk for mega thrust earthquakes, with experts estimating 80% chance of a major quake within the next 30 years. There's no evidence to support a specific event in July 2025. Well, what evidence would there be, for a start? What evidence was there that there was going to be a quake in 2011? They don't get advance warnings about these things. You get some rumblings. Go and watch the Dutch Since channel, who started posting again on YouTube. Social media has amplified the prediction, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so that's that. So, as you can see, like the manga, it's a basic manga. I can't read any of it because it's all in Japanese, obviously. Just, you get the idea. It's telling her story, and I guess the story of what went on in her life. She was having these dreams and things. I'm not even sure if she's still alive. I need to check this out properly. But anyway, so here we go. There's a section, and it's basically showing some of the artwork and her books, like little books that she wrote in her room, I guess. Here's one of, I believe this is an earthquake. I'm not sure what date. Sorry if I'm being very fast with it, but I'm just trying to knock the video out. 26/11/95. I believe that's a picture of her. Here. I believe this is the 2011 one. You can see there's some sort of like water going on here, and like a kind of a scientific, like what looks like a kind of large building kind of exploding, I guess, which would be the nuclear reactor. Anyway, so we get to page 82, okay, and it starts talking about, yeah, page 82, July 2025, right? This is her prediction. This is all, you can't see it very well, but it's drawings of like a map, like from above, like an area of volcanic activity. This is a sort of printed version of it, with the epicenter of whatever was her prediction was going to happen right here. Now the interesting thing, as I've said, I can't read Japanese. There's some more of it there. What I noticed flicking through yesterday is it doesn't seem to specify 5th of July, 5 AM 2025, anywhere from what I can see here. And she's written it on the, when she wrote it down, she wrote the prophecy down, or that her dream, what she remembered from the dream, at 4:18 AM on the 7th of July, sorry, the 5th of July 2021, 4 years ago. You can see it right down there at the bottom, 4/18/5/7/2021. (4/18, 5th of July 2021) of a prophecy in July 2025. And then we go on again. This is another thing she's done, presumably on the 4/18, on the 5th of July 2021 again. You can just see it here at the bottom. And it's talking about a prophecy in July 2025. See, it says here 7/2025. Where was that other bit I was looking at? But you see what I'm saying? I can't see anywhere where it's indicating 5th of July this year. It seems to me, yeah, 7/2025. 7/2025. Oh, where is it? I can't see it reversed here. It's there, and it's somewhere. Where is it? Right there. 7/2025. So I'm just wondering, is this whole thing about 5th of July 2025, is this just like someone's misread it wrong? Because the only, like the references I find in the Nexus article, they're from Macau News, Grok AI. We all know, well, anyone with a little bit of analysis, AI gets everything wrong. It gets everything wrong. All you got to do is type, somebody's got to say the wrong thing one time, and then Grok AI or ChatGPT, it will just repeat it. It will just repeat the wrong information. India Times, I'm not trusting that on YouTube. They're just going to copy. They're just copied what they've heard from whatever, Reuters or whatever it is. Japan Today, that's an unreliable. That's like just a Western Japanese news source. I don't think they check anything, and it's propaganda. So I'm just wondering what's going on with it. I think it's interesting because so many times these things are wrong. You get the wrong information and they just repeat the wrong information. It becomes apocryphal. So it's become apocryphal now that it's like 5th of July. But maybe something will happen. Let's see, eh? So we've still got 2 weeks. We've still got 2 weeks till the end of the world, maybe. Or the end of this part of the world. Anyway, that's that. I thought it was interesting because I'd seen them talking about it, and there's the book. I wanted to see the book, and luckily I managed to find it. So let's see, right? Maybe it's not the 5th of July, maybe it's July, and I'm going to ask my keyboardist tonight to have a read of this because I can't read it, and see what's going on with it, because there might be still another 2 weeks to go. Okay, that's just that. And they always do this. I'll give you an example just quickly. I remembered something. Do you remember Keith Flint from The Prodigy? Keith Flint from The Prodigy, he died, I think it was 6 years ago, which strangely enough isn't actually listed on Wikipedia, however much you trust that. It's not actually listed as a suicide. Anyway, so Keith Flint died. And Keith Flint was married to a Japanese woman. I think they were still together, but they were kind of separated. There was problems going on. She was living in Japan. He was living in England. So Keith Flint died. And then the day Keith Flint died, it was all big news. His wife, or estranged wife, I think her name was DJ, I think it's Miyumi something. And they put this story out that his wife, this Miyumi, had used his death, like literally the day he died, to advertise a DJ gig she was doing. Like she was doing a DJ gig in Tokyo, and there was a picture of Keith Flint, this DJ Miyumi, and a picture of Keith Flint, and they were all talking about how, oh, it's quite callous what she's done here. It's like giving it the whole Yoko Ono rubbish. Anyway, it transpired it wasn't her that was doing this DJ gig in Tokyo. It was another DJ Miyumi, right? It was someone else another female called DJ Miyumi, but it wasn't his wife. So they put this story out saying, oh, look at his wife. Isn't she callous? Aren't they callous? How could she have done that? Oh, it's so insensitive. And then it transpired. So you have to keep reading the story. Most people don't keep reading the story as it develops. It transpired it was another DJ. So the next day, the other DJ, she'd put this post up that had linked to Keith Flint. She apologised. She said, oh, I'm sorry about this. I didn't realise, I don't know how it happened. But then the next day, they put a story up in the Daily Mail saying, DJ Miyumi apologises for this post, but they're still making out that this DJ Miyumi who had apologised was Keith Flint's wife, and it wasn't her. It was a completely different person. But to keep the story going, this controversy about this callous act, to keep it going, they're completely fabricating the truth. So it's just interesting. Okay, well, that's that. Bye.